Jimmy Howard and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us this word. I just want to do a video on the lake of fire and and the true representation of the lake of fire. Um, the church, the Catholic Church or whatever, they teach you that the lake of fire represents that hell doctrine. You die and you go to hell, and then the devil will stab you with a pitchfork and all that. But that's not true. The lake of fire is America, being burned by nuclear missiles. That's the vision that John saw. He saw America engulfed in flames um, right during World War III. That nuclear destruction that's coming to America. That the prophets have been out there warning the people. The main thing that we're warning the people for, to look for, and to get right, so you don't get caught up in that lake of fire. So the first scripture is Revelation 20:14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. The second death. What was the first death? The time of Noah, when the Most High flooded the entire planet Earth and killed everybody on it, except for Noah, and his family. That was the first death, through water. And with the rainbow, the Most High made an agreement that he wasn't going to flood the earth again with water, or destroy the earth with water. That's where we get the rainbow from. So this is the second death, which will be caused by nuclear missiles, nuclear destruction. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Basically 2/3 of our people and the other nations that are dwelling in America on that time. They're the ones that are not written in the book of life, and they'll be caught up in this nuclear holocaust, or cast into the lake of fire. Meaning they're going to be left here in America, and they're going to get burnt up when the nuclear missiles are shut off. Okay, so it's not talking about an actual hell doctrine, a place where you go, where you burn forever. Okay, so originally where they got that from was from the scriptures. In the Greek mythology, they flipped it and turned it into that hell doctrine. But really, when you look into it, there's this place called the Valley of Hinnom, where Israel would sacrifice their sons and daughters to Molech and to Baal and all that. And that got flipped into that hell doctrine, which is a place where they would burn trash, dead animals, and they would sacrifice their children, man. This is Jeremiah 19:1. Thus saith the Lord, go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take of the ancients of the people, and of the ancients of the priests, and go forth unto the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim there the words that I shall tell thee, and say, hear ye the word of the Lord, O kings of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, and the power of Israel, behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto their other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents. They have built also the high places of Baal, to burn their sons with fire, for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it unto my mind. So the Greek way of saying Hinnom is Gehenna. That's the Greek way, which means hell. So if you were to look up that word hell in the New Testament, The Strong's G1067. Uh, yeah, we'll just use this scripture right here. So all that word hell, it's really that word Gehenna. And this is in Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Yeah, because the Most High can destroy your soul, man. Each generation you come back, he can put you in a mangled up body, deformed body, whatever. Each one of your generations through the reincarnation. So you don't fear man. You gotta fear the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Fear not them which kill the body. You gotta have that faith. You gotta remember scriptures like that in these end times. Like if you have to be a martyr, you get put to death, or you end up in a concentration camp. Don't fear those men in there, man. The Most High is always in control. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear Him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So, like if a regular Christian would read that, you see the word hell, and you think, oh, the devil, man in a red jumpsuit with a pitchfork down there burning in hell. No. The Strong's word for that, this G1067, is Gehenna, or Gehenna, the Greek word. And it means hell is the place of future punishment called Gehenna, or Gehenna of fire. This was originally the Valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned, a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. So yeah, it was originally the Valley of Hinnom. We just read that in Jeremiah, where they would sacrifice their children unto Baal. So this lake of fire is not talking about hell. It's talking about that nuclear destruction. Next verse is Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage every unclean and hateful bird. Because that's all that's going to dwell here after America's destroyed. It's laid desolate, burned to the ground. Number unclean birds, unclean spirits, foul spirits. That's the only thing that's going to dwell here. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. All these other nations, they took on the philosophies of America. They all got rich from America. America used to be a top producing nation, a producer nation. Now it's like a consuming nation. Everything is made in China, Japan, India, Indonesia. All these countries are getting rich from America because it's consuming all these products. Even cars, BMWs, top car here in America, expensive car. Mercedes, Jaguars, all produced overseas, or they're created overseas. They have little plants here in America, but mainly those type of products were originally developed in other countries, and they get the main profits of it. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Yeah, that's the elect in the 1/3. That's not going to partake in the lake of fire. They're going to be delivered up out of here in the ships, the chariots of Israel. They're going to beam up the elect in the 1/3, and they're not going to take part in that plague, in that punishment, the lake of fire. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So all the hell, all the slavery, all the wickedness that comes out of America, she's going to get double unto that, America. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow. I shall see no sorrow. You know, America, the so-called white man, the people that run America, they don't feel that America's ever going to go down. They don't feel that they're ever going to get touched. You know. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Yeah, she shall be utterly burned with fire. You know, Babylon the Great, America. You know, that lake of fire. Skip down to verse 16. And saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches had come to naught. Every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as by trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like this unto this great city? Yeah, and be crying because they're not going to be able to make any more money off of it. Yeah, that great city Babylon. You know, it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about modern day Babylon. Here in America, America is the great city Babylon, great Babylon the Great. You know, this is from Ancient History Encyclopedia, or ancient.eu. Babylon. Uh, Babylon is the most famous city from ancient Mesopotamia, whose ruins lie in modern day Iraq. So you still have the ruins and artifacts from ancient Babylon. So that scripture in Revelation is not talking about uh, ancient Babylon. It's going to be spiritual Babylon, which is America. You know, because ancient Babylon was never burned, you know, to the ground. You know, it was taken over by the Persians, and then the Persians were taken down by the Greeks. You know, the Greeks were taken down by the Romans. This is the Persian conquest and Babylon's decline. The Neo-Babylonian Empire continued after the death of Nebuchadnezzar II, and Babylon continued to play an important role in the region under the rule of Nabonidus. Uh, Under Persian rule, Babylon flourished as a center of art and education. Cyrus and his successors held the city in great regard and made it administrative capital of their empire. Uh, when, after 200 years, the Persian Empire fell to Alexander the Great, he also gave great reverence to the city, ordering his men not to damage the buildings nor molest the inhabitants. So yeah, this Babylon that we're reading about in Revelation, Babylon the Great, is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about spiritual Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is America, which will get burned with fire, the lake of fire. Last scripture is Joel 2:3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. What's that talking about? It's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. That's going to be shut off. And it's going to turn this land called America into a lake of fire. That's the vision that John saw. Okay. So with that, shalom.